Luck is when preparation and opportunity collide. My single favorite quote, which a friend of mine told me was from Seneca, but it applied so much to me. It was probably the first thing that I came across in self improvement and all this sort of stuff that really clicked for me. And here you go, cheesy one. It was 15, 16 years ago, watching Wizards of Waverly Place. This is what really struck it home. Selena Gomez was grounded, right? And her family were about to go on a cruise. And what she did is she knew that she'd been grounded, she wasn't allowed to go, but she packed for it anyway. And then she behaved for X period until the date they were leaving, and at the very last moment, her mum decided, hey, actually, I've changed my mind, you're not grounded, you can come, but there's no way we can get you here. Like, there's no opportunity to be able to do this. And that's when Selena turned around and was like, haha. And she like waved her wand and her bags appeared. And her mum was like, what? And then she said something what I felt was quite profound, which is, things tend to go my way when I've prepared for them. It was something along those lines. And I was like, oh my God. And funny story, that's actually how I ended up with my fiance. The first night I was visiting, she was like, well, you can't stay around, you don't have any of your stuff. And I actually had my bag full of stuff ready to stay, which I took directly from that, which is hilarious. But it applies in everything. And so what I wanted to talk about today is, what do you do when you don't know what to do? If you have excess time and not a single focus that you can apply yourself towards for whatever reason. In this scenario, I would aim to build capacity. What the hell do I mean? Ross Edgley, fantastic athlete, swam around England in one go without touching land. It took him 6 months, where he was 6 hours on, 6 hours off, and slept on a boat. He released a book about this, and in that book talked about getting wintered, about how previous cultures, I'm actually not sure what, I think like maybe it's the Vikings or I don't know, the Stoics, would talk about the winter is coming, you need to get wintered. You need to build up volume, you need to do the hard stuff, i.e. create capacity. And so that when it comes around to do the hard thing, you are able to. So I am an Ironman. No one can ever take that away from me. I did 13 hours non-stop physical exercise, 140.6 miles in one day. Swim, bike, and run. But I could not physically do that again today because my capacity isn't what it was. And that goes the same thing for my work. Like, throughout my work life, I have worked periods of 16 hours a day for 60 straight days. I couldn't physically do that right now because my capacity isn't there. And so if you are unsure on what to do, or you don't know where to put your time and effort, build capacity in any metric. So one of my favorites and classic ones is physical stuff. So build up your cardiovascular capacity, how strong you are, lose some weight, clean your bedroom, like all of the real typical self-help stuff. Build skills. Give, if you're now going into business, give back to the people that you serve, or create videos that will serve more than just the people that you do. Create new things that only you can do, because that will increase capacity. Business especially, you can never hire perfectly. You are always, always overstaffed or understaffed based on how many sales you've got. If your sales are going great and that part of the company is expanding, you're now understaffed and you've got to get people back, and it's difficult to try and cover. But at the same time, if you scale up your fulfillment so that there is space for the sales to come in, you're now overstaffed and you're wasting money. It's never perfect, but capacity is built either on the sales or the fulfillment side at any point, right? And you need to then catch up with the other one. And so bringing this all the way back to that first quote, preparation is when luck is when preparation and opportunity collide. Building capacity is essentially becoming prepared. You know, if you have all of this extra goodwill in the world through, say, content, the moment you have something to sell them or a system by which you can replicate fulfillment, you can now ask and all of a sudden make a load of money overnight. Pretty cool. On the other hand, if you're a sales guy or girl and you know how to sell people, but you can't keep up with the fulfillment, you will get stuck. And so you will need to build capacity in the fulfillment side of things. And that could be through automating your workflow and increasing the leverage per unit time you spend doing any work that you do. So all of this comes around to thoughts that I'm having today about where can I put my time which will increase my capacity, whether that be in fitness. That's what I'm trying to do now, is get back into shape, get stronger, have fewer injuries, so that whenever anyone asks, do you want to play paddle? I can say yes. Do you want to go on this bike ride? I can say yes. Create capacity in our works by increasing the leverage. So working on our automation so that we spend less time per day having to do the daily stuff of onboarding a new person or replying to customer services and all that sort of stuff. So that if an opportunity does come along, let's say we smash a new sales system, and now we have to, or we're limited by the capacity on how we can bring in fulfillment, we now have the space to do that, right? Like cleaning up your bedroom, it's not going to make you better, but it might give you one less thing in your brain to worry about. And I think anxiety is a situation where you have too many unaddressed things in your mind that are each individually causing you stress, and when you have a boatload of them piled up, you call that anxiety and you can't focus on anything else because you're so overwhelmed with all the things you haven't done. So building capacity can be as simple as, you know, fixing all of that, cleaning out your house, doing a clear out, stuff like that. And the same goes for business. You know, you can clear out your business, you can clear out your processes. So yeah, and actually right now clearing out my fat reserves for my own body, and, you know, cleaning off the cobwebs. So all in all, if you are unsure where to put your efforts right now, creating capacity in any form is unlikely to be a bad thing at some point in the future. Those are my thoughts. Have a great one. Peace.